In this video, I'm showing you how to create images and videos using Flow AI. By the end, you'll be able to create an animation video right along with me. Let's start right from the beginning, in case you're just getting started. Open your browser, search for Google Flow, and click the Flow page under Google Labs. Once you're on the main screen, hit Create with Flow. That'll take you straight to the sign up page. You might notice small changes in the interface if Google has pushed any updates. If your Google account pops up, you can select it, or just type in your email address to create an account. Once you're in, you'll arrive on the Flow home page. Click New Project, and it will take you into the main workspace. On the bottom right corner, tap this button to open all the creation options. Flow lets you generate both videos and images, and it works for long-form YouTube videos as well as vertical shorts. You can choose a 16:9 aspect ratio for long videos or 9:16 for shorts, and each prompt can generate anywhere from 1 to 4 images or videos. Flow uses VO3 to create videos, and you'll see 3 modes available: light, fast, and quality. Light mode costs 10 credits per video, and the price simply multiplies if you create more than one. The credit amount doesn't change based on how you create the video or which aspect ratio you choose. It only depends on how many videos you generate in a single prompt and which VO3 mode you select. Fast mode costs 20 credits per video. Quality mode is the premium option and much more expensive at 100 credits per video, so make sure you double-check your settings before generating anything. Choose the mode and number of videos based on your budget and what your project actually needs. I've already made a full breakdown video explaining credits and costs if you want a deeper look. Light mode is pretty new, so it doesn't show up in my video. But you can just follow the same method I used for fast mode to get an idea for how light mode works too. I've only just started this channel, so if you're enjoying the videos, it would mean a lot if you hit subscribe, drop a like, and leave a little comment. Even a simple thank you is perfect. It really helps keep me motivated to make more videos and grow this channel. And honestly, thank you so much for being here and supporting the journey. Before we start creating images and videos, let me quickly walk you through the 2 video options available. Frames are especially useful when you want to turn images into a video. You can upload a start image and an end image, and Flow will animate the transition between them. Then there's Ingredients, which is where you type your text prompt to generate a video, and you can also upload images here. You'll notice a clear difference between these 2 methods once we start creating. Alright, let's jump in and make some videos. So, I've already created my image prompt using ChatGPT, and now I'm just going to copy that prompt and paste it into Flow. Once you're inside Flow, you can select the image model you prefer, choose your aspect ratio, and decide how many images you want to generate. One of the best things about Flow is that it doesn't charge any credits for image generation, so you can create as many images as you like for free. You can use models like Nano Banana Pro, Nano Banana 2, or Imagen 4. In this case, I'm going with Nano Banana Pro. Now I'll paste the prompt I copied earlier. I'm removing the topic line just to avoid any confusion, and then I'll click the Generate button to start creating the images. As you can see on the screen, Flow has started generating the images. This usually takes just a few seconds to about a minute, depending on how many images you're generating and which AI mode you're using. It might slow down a bit during busy times too, especially when a lot of people are using the tool at once. And here we go, the images are ready. You can scroll through and pick whichever one you like. If you're not happy with the results, don't worry, I'll show you how to edit them next. First, let's open one in a wider view so we can take a closer look before downloading. I'm going to download this one. Just click the download button at the top. You'll see 2 options, original size or upscale to 2K. I recommend choosing the upscaled version because it gives you better image quality, although it may take a bit longer to process. Alright, the image is downloaded. Now let's move on to editing. After generating your image, you have several editing options. You can resize the image by switching between landscape, portrait, or even square format. There's also a freeform option that lets you crop the image exactly how you want. Once you're done resizing, just click the crop button to apply the changes. If you want to edit a specific part of the image, you can do that too. Start by using the box selection tool. For example, I'm going to select the bucket here and change its color. I'll add a simple instruction: change the bucket color to green. This process might take a little time, but the good thing is you don't have to wait. You can continue working on other images in the meantime. Now let's try the lasso tool. I'm going to draw a hat. Well, it doesn't look perfect, but let's see how Flow interprets it. I'll just tell it to turn that area into a hat and let the AI do its thing. Alright, the bucket edit is done. Let's check it out. As you can see, it followed the instruction perfectly and changed the color just as requested. Now let's take a look at the hat edit. And there it is. I'm actually pretty happy with how it turned out. The cool thing is you can be very specific with your instructions. You can describe the style, add logos, patterns, or any creative detail you can imagine. And that's how easy it is to create and edit images in Flow. Now let's move on to the next feature. This tool makes it super easy to draw on your images and add custom text, which is perfect if you're creating content, thumbnails, or quick edits. Let's walk through a simple example so you can see how it works in real time. I'm just going to add a name onto the image for now, just to demonstrate the feature and how clean the text overlay looks. Once you're happy with your edit, you've got a couple of options. You can hit Save Doodle to store it directly in your project, which is great if you're building a workflow or keeping everything organized in one place. Or, if you prefer, you can download the image straight to your device and use it wherever you need. There's also another quick option to save your work to the project, which gives you a bit more flexibility depending on how you like to manage your files. Now let's head back and check everything. Just click the arrow icon in the top left corner, and it'll take you right back to your main project page. You might notice, like I did, that the same image got saved multiple times while testing things out. That's totally normal when you're experimenting. To clean it up, just click the three dots on any image and delete the duplicates to keep your project nice and tidy. Alright, let's quickly go through the options you see when you click the three dots on your image. This menu gives you a bunch of useful tools to manage and reuse your content more efficiently. At the top, you've got Animate, which lets you turn your image into a simple animation, great for creating engaging social media content. Then there's Add to Prompt, so you can reuse this image in new AI prompts and keep your visuals consistent. You can also hit Favorite to bookmark important images for quick access later. If you want to export your image, just click Download, and you'll see different resolution options like 1K, 2K, and even 4K for high-quality output. Further down, you've got Rename to keep your files organized, along with Cut and Copy for quick edits and duplication. And we already checked the Delete option. Overall, this menu is super handy for editing, organizing, and repurposing your images without breaking your workflow. Now I'm going to quickly show you how to rename your project in a clean and simple way. Just click on the three dots next to your project, and you'll see the Rename option pop up. Go ahead and click on that, type in your new project name. In my case, I'm creating a kids' rhyme called Farm Fun, so I'll name it exactly that. Once you've entered the name, just click this icon and the project name is updated now. Next, before we move into animation, I'm going to create a few more images that I can use for video creation. This step is really important if you want smooth and professional looking animations. I always create my character images with a clean white background. This way, I can easily use the same character in different environments for different scenes, which is key for storytelling and visual continuity. It also helps maintain character consistency throughout the entire story, and we can even reuse unique characters across all our contents. Now I'm going to create the image for my first scene. I'll be using the same characters I created earlier so everything stays consistent and visually connected. I'll simply copy and paste my first scene image prompt, then click on the plus icon to add in my character images. Once everything is set, I'll hit the Generate button and let it do its thing. While the image is being created, I like to quickly clean up and organize my workspace. I'll remove any unwanted images because getting rid of extra files helps reduce clutter and keeps the workflow smooth and much faster. Alright, my first scene image is ready, so let's quickly review all the generated images and pick the best one. This one looks more natural to me, especially with the dust blowing as the horses jump, which adds a dynamic and realistic touch. That kind of detail really makes a difference once we animate it. I'll go ahead and delete the rest. So I accidentally deleted the image of Leo that I had selected for the first scene, and honestly, it was the perfect picture for my rhyme. Luckily, I had already downloaded a copy. Otherwise, I would have had to recreate a similar image from scratch. But this actually works out, because now I can show you an extra step in the workflow. Let me quickly walk you through how to upload it back. Just click on the plus icon at the top, and it will open up the folders on your device. Most of the time, your downloaded images and videos will be inside the Downloads folder. I like to stay organized, so I keep everything sorted in a folder with proper labels. From these images, I'll select Leo's image and upload it. It usually takes a few seconds to load, especially since I'm using the free version of Flow, which can be a bit slower. I'll be testing the paid version soon to compare the performance and quality. So stay tuned. And now that everything is set, let's take this image and move on to creating the animation for our first scene. In this video I'm using the animation prompts that I created earlier with ChatGPT. What I'm going to do first is simply copy the animation prompt for the first scene and paste it directly into Flow. Now let's bring in the image we generated for that same first scene. This keeps everything consistent and saves a lot of time when you're building multi-scene videos. For this example, I'm just using a single image since the scene starts and ends in the same position, so there's no need for extra angles or variations here. But if your scene begins and finishes differently, make sure to add the end image as well so you can get a smooth, more accurate final video output. This is a simple but effective way to keep your AI video workflow clean and efficient. Next, let's quickly go through the video settings. I'm using the frame method with a long-form video format, and I've set the aspect ratio to 16:9, which is perfect for YouTube content. I'm generating just one video clip here because I don't want to waste credits, and I've selected light mode since it only costs 10 credits. This is a great budget-friendly setup if you're testing or experimenting. Once everything is ready, just hit the generate button and let the AI start creating your video. While that's processing, I want to show you something interesting. I actually created another version of this video using only text to animation, without any images, but using the exact same prompt. Let's play that and see how it looks. Later, I'll show you the difference between text to animation and image to animation once our first scene finishes rendering. As you can see, it's still processing. It's not the fastest compared to Grok Imagine, but the downside is Grok doesn't really offer free credits anymore. If you're interested in AI video generation with Grok or want to learn how to write high-quality prompts for both images and animation using ChatGPT, I've already made detailed tutorials on my channel. Because honestly, prompt engineering is everything here. If your instructions aren't clear, the output won't be great, and you'll end up wasting your credits. By the way, I recently started this channel, so if you find this tutorial helpful for your content creation journey, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Even a simple thank you really helps support the channel and motivates me to create more tutorials like this. So, we can grow together. Alright, now our first scene is ready. You can already notice a clear difference between the two versions just by looking at the cover frame. Let's play the full video and check the results. So, what do you think? Let me know in the comments which version you prefer, the text to animation one I showed earlier, or this image to animation version we just created. Now one important thing to keep in mind is that each generated clip is only around 7 seconds long. So if you're aiming for a 1-minute YouTube video, you'll need roughly 8 to 10 clips. During editing, you can adjust the pacing by using slow motion, speeding up certain parts, or trimming unwanted sections depending on how your clips turn out and the style you're going for. To download your clip, just click the download icon at the top. The original file will give you the best quality, while the other options are usually limited to paid plans. Now that this clip is downloaded, this is the method that shows you how to create the first scene of your video. When it comes to the second clip, if it's completely different from your first scene, you can simply repeat the same process and build it from scratch. But if you're aiming for smooth continuity between your first and second scenes, then you'll need to use a slightly different technique to keep everything visually consistent and connected. In this part of the tutorial, I'm going to walk you through a couple of videos I created for the same project. More importantly, I'll break down the exact technique I used to create seamless transitions between scenes, so your final AI-generated video feels more cinematic. Here's where the first scene ends, flowing naturally into the second scene. In the first scene, the kids meet the horses. In the second scene, they move on to explore the area with sheep and cows. In the third scene, the kids are playing and moving around the pond where the pigs and ducks are. The sheep and cows from the previous scene stay in view, and the pond, pigs, and ducks appear gradually. Nothing changes all of a sudden. Watch closely how the transition works. The kids don't suddenly jump into a completely different environment. Instead, they move naturally through the same farm setting. You can still see elements from the previous scenes in the background, which keeps the visual continuity intact. Go to the last animation you created that needs to continue into the next scene. First, make sure to download the video clip before you start editing. Then, select the Extend option and enter your animation prompt for the next scene. I am going to copy the animation prompt for the next scene. Then I simply paste this prompt into the Extend section instead of creating a new generation. By doing this, the AI understands that it needs to continue from the previous visuals, keeping the same characters, background, and motion flow. Now click the generate icon to create the next scene. You'll notice that this creates a much smoother transition. The characters don't jump or reset, and the environment stays consistent. It feels like one continuous shot rather than separate clips stitched together. Alright, that's it for today. I'll be back with another video to show you more options, so stay tuned. If you run into any issues while creating images or animations, drop a comment below. And if this tutorial helped you, even a simple thanks means a lot. It really motivates me to keep making more videos like this. Let's grow together. Thanks a heap for your support. I'll see you in the next video.